like really kind of a muffled distortion. Reminds me of old Smashing Pumpkins, and
Right.
probably like I want to say like early Nirvana. So like Bleach, like right around there, were just like really really raw, but it had a catchy riff, but it just it really stuck out, and like it definitely was like a really hard heavy hitting tune. Dave.
Yeah, well, I mean, you mentioned Spine Shank earlier on when you were talking there, George, and I can hear that influence as well. That type of, like you said, you gravitated towards the melodic side of new metal, and it's definitely evident in that song. Well, yeah, great tune. I have to say, it still sounds like it's being played down a tin pipe on Skype, but I want to listen to it again tomorrow morning, as always.
Right on.
Good tune, yeah.
So, Jeff, with recording stuff on your own and just kind of moving along, has it been like a good like learning experience just because the programs have changed so much and there's so much intricacies with all these programs now?
Audio engineering is very difficult. It's not something you're going to learn overnight or in a 4-year degree. I mean, you can learn the basics, but you really have to do it hands-on. You know, I've been trying to figure it out for many, many years, and I agree with you that song is hard-hitting, maybe kind of like a Bleach era or something, but I was definitely shooting for better production, more like a Nevermind era on that track.
Right.
But yeah, things have changed a lot. It's a lot easier now than it used to be, obviously.
Right.
I started out, I had a parallel port CD burner, back in 1998. It took an hour to burn a CD.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
The technology's, changed a lot. So it's a lot more fun now, especially once you figure out, how to get what you want. Then you're not spending so much time in trial and error mode.
Yeah.
I guess.
Right. I mean, I've done some recording on and off myself, and I just use InTrack because for me it's the easy thing from what I'm doing because it's more or less just a hobby more than anything. And in the past, I tried using Reason.
Reason's cool.
Oh my God, Jeff, man, I was ready to rip my effing hair out. I was like, I don't get this. What is going on here? Why can't I line this up? It would drive me nuts because that's one thing you have to at least from my personal experience, you have to learn by trial and error because no tutors and like that is going to help you at all because it'll just confuse you more. As far as just my personal opinion, though.
I started out with Cool Edit Pro back in the late '90s, and which turned into Adobe Audition, and with any Adobe software, it just about takes a college education to use it. There's so much going on. Reason's pretty difficult. I don't use that a lot. I use that more specifically for like the electronic stuff, the more pop stuff that you played,
right?
In the beginning. I usually just export it straight out into Cubase, which is I know is a big no-no. Everybody uses Pro Tools. I'm just not really a Mac guy, and so I prefer Cubase. But
how dare you?
It's not a lot of the musicians that I work with use Cubase now.
Really?
Even if they do other music in different programs, they'll mix it down in Cubase and produce it into Cubase. So a lot of people find it easier. Me, I don't understand it at all. That's why I'm a singer.
I'm just there for the free booze. Come on.
Exactly,
right. So
I guess it just all depends on what platform that you use, PC or Mac.
Right. Well, you know what? I mean, I use PC as well too. I mean, I have an iPhone, but the rest of it is PC. But just back to Reason for one moment. One of the reasons I decided to try that out was because I heard that Trent Reznor had used it for Nine Inch Nails. Like, oh, this has got to be cool. And then once I sat down and figured out how complex this is, like, no wonder it took them years to make these albums because this whole system is fucked,
They probably made some of those things based on things that Trent Reznor invented back in the mid-90s. That guy was so far ahead of everyone else when it came to electronic music.
Oh, for sure. He essentially created the industrial movement.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I mean, Manson and Richard Patrick from Filter were all in his original, the original Nine Inch Nails. So there was a lot of things that came out of Nine Inch Nails there in the mid '90s.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just quick little things, and we'll get back to you but with Manson, I saw him live in, I believe, it was either 98 or 99. It was on Ozfest, and
Right.
it was Sabbath, Black Label Society. It was a really, for the most part, a decent lineup. There's only two bands in there they didn't really like, but I got a chance to see Slipknot for the first time. I got to see Manson for the first time, and man, I was blown away. Both stage presence of both bands were just absolutely unreal. And man, Manson, I don't care if you don't like his music, you gotta see one of his shows because there's nothing like it. There absolutely is nothing like a Manson show. It's crazy.
Well, he's like the modern, equivalent to Alice Cooper. He's the showman.
Oh yeah, and
Slipknot has like what 300 members. So I mean,
right. Well, pretty much 7 guys, but they are. It's crazy because they got the 2 percussionists, and it's just a huge stage setup. But they were really cool, and I tell you, I got lucky. Kind of essentially bumped into him. It was kind of quick, kind of hi, you guys rock, and that was it. But I bumped into Mick, who's a guitarist for Slipknot. And Mick is almost 7 feet tall and roughly about 300 pounds. This guy is an effing tank.
Yeah.
But he is a friendly teddy bear, man. He's one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet in your life. He just looks super scary, right? Because he's got the Hannibal Lecter mask. He's got the straight metal bars for his teeth.
Yeah, they're all Midwest boys. That whole band.
Iowa, man.
Can I ask you a question?
For sure.
What do you think about the state of modern rock music? I mean, because, that song, Sellout, was basically, about my feelings about how artists that we used to listen to, that we used to admire, have, changed over a decade or however long, and they sort of just do what they think is going to make them the most money rather than staying true to the music. What do you think about
my personal thoughts
today?
Is despite the fact that music is cyclical as far as styles, and it evolves in certain ways, it's very disappointing. It's very disappointing because just like you said, it's like there's no heart behind it anymore. I mean, it sit there and I'm bored, and I can't get into the song, and I truly mean that. Because you could go back even 5 years, going 5 years back, I mean, it was still a little bit different. It was kind of slowly but surely getting into that, know what's going to make me a quick buck and give me. It's more than a one-hit wonder, right? I mean, it's just, it's very frustrating. And that's why I don't listen to radio anymore. And I like, no word of a lie. The only time I listen to radio is when I'm at work, but I have no choice because it's going over the PA, so I don't have a choice but to listen to it. Other than that, I don't, because it disappoints me. It's like, this is not good. This is not good. I've heard this 50 million times. Nope. Like, it doesn't matter
I
how.
would even go as far to say that there's been times when I would be listening to a song and get bored, walk into the other room, the song changed a couple times, and I would think the same song was still on when I came back into the room because it's all this. It all sounds the same. It's like the same formula, the same producers. It's all auto-tuned to death, so there's no feeling, Dave might appreciate this, though. In around 2007, I guess, or 6 or so, I got into the UK scene with a band called Biffy Clyro when they first came out.
Yeah.
I love Biffy Clyro. To this day, I love Biffy Clyro. They've gotten a lot bigger. They've gotten a lot more mainstream, but they still rock, somewhat, and I really like their new record. There was also a band called Reuben. I don't know if Dave's familiar with Reuben. That came up. They came up at the same time as Biffy when they first started. You should check out Reuben. Anybody that's listening to this should check out Reuben. They have several great albums. Race Car Backwards, Very Fast, Very Dangerous. Those are all really great albums. They're not together anymore. It got to be too hard, When you don't get to a certain level, it gets a little harder, financially. So I think was kind of what happened to them. They kind of went their separate ways. But that was a really great band. I just thought I'd mention it, those UK bands, since Dave is here and he might have heard of them.
Yeah, I was just wondering how to say race car backwards.
Yeah, race car backwards. Yeah, that was their first album.
Yeah, I was gonna say what Rackasset.
There's a great song called Freddy Krueger on there. That's probably the one they're known the best for.
Nice.
I've got enough nightmares going on. I don't need Freddy.
Well, just seeing Robert Englund alone, like out of his mask, is scary enough. You know.
Oh yeah.
It's a real pop song. It's not scary.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, some scary pop out there, I tell you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's it's one of those things, sometimes like I don't, because like I don't want to be rude or mean, because if I don't like the song, I won't play it just out of courtesy, because I'm not here to drag any band to the dirt at all. I want to make sure they get an honest opinion, and it's not too kind of like too technical in some cases. So, but there's some songs that were submitted to me. I won't mention any names or anything like that. But I'm listening to them, and within like maybe about a minute, maybe a minute and a half, I'm listening and thinking, what Krusty thought when they replaced Itchy and Scratchy. He's like, what the hell was that? So yeah, so that's pretty much what my thoughts are on the mainstream these days. It just
and everyone else loved it. See, that's the thing. I'm scratching my head. Why do people like this?
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to get into one more song by you, Jeff. We're going to ask you a few more questions, then get into some other tunes, and we'll start commenting on some new music. Sound good?
Right on.
All right, so the other one I picked for tonight was Nervous Breakdown. Now, Jeff, I'll let you cue this up because I don't remember what EP this was off of.
It's from the Not the Same LP from 2007. It's called Nervous Breakdown.
Well, this is one of my favorite tunes out of all the EPs you sent me and all the music you listen to. This is one of my favorites. So let's dig this. This is Recite the Plan with Nervous Breakdown. Dig this.